Good day everyone and welcome back. Today we'll be taking a look at my favorite transgender YouTuber. No, not Blair. I love Blair. What I meant to say was trans-trender. Yup, it's Justin, also known as Riley J. Dennis. I'm assuming the J stands for Justin, but whatever, I'm not gonna ask. First off, Justin, if you found this video already, let me just say that I did, in fact, listen to you speak your mind before I went back and watched Rags do his rebuttal. And then, again, when I grabbed the video from YouTube, and again while I was cutting it up for editing. I kindly ask that you hear me out as well. And, just for you, trigger warning. This character is an asshole. Look, I like you. Really, I do. We just disagree on so many things that it was inevitable that I would choose one of your videos. At least I have the common decency to choose one that pertains to my actual life. Let me actually open with this. Riley, I know you're a dude, but you're my kind of dude. Spend the night with me and I'll make a real lady out of you. Totally joking. But what isn't a joke is that you do a really good job with your makeup. I like it. Well, with the introduction and niceties out of the way, let's just get to it.
Yes. Shoot. You play video games? And you're a girl?
Okay, I get that you're not actually playing anything on the screen in front of you. I'm not stupid. But you have to understand that playing games is not just a random mashing of buttons. Unless you're playing Street Fighter, which I don't count as a game. It's basically a rage quit simulator for me. The point is that if you're going to act, at least put forth a modicum of effort. I mean, you actually get paid for what you're doing. #jealous. Also, I'll be criticizing the premise of this clip later, so just hang in there, imaginary fans. Ooh, that's a quality intro. Can I get your guys' number? Wait. Ah, fuck.
Hey humans.
Hello, fellow human. Nice to see you on this fine day.
So, I've got a problem.
I do too. I lost my phone number. Can I have yours?
I'm a really huge nerd, but I'm also a really huge feminist.
Oh, I know. Don't worry. I'll almost definitely be taking a look at your other videos sometime.
Now I know that doesn't sound like a problem. I mean, after all, they're completely unrelated things.
Yes, they are. And I want it to stay that way. Have you actually played any politically correct or feminist games? They suck. They're horrible. The story, the character development, the art design is usually awful, the mechanics, all of it. From the ground up, games that follow your ideology are not just bad stories, they're bad games.
One's about enjoying certain video games and movies and TV shows, and the other one is about creating equality and acceptance for all kinds of people.
We have two very different views on feminism, but that's not why you're here. You're here because you want to put feminism in my video games. And I just can't stand by and let that happen. You're all about speaking up, so here we are.
But unfortunately, there's been this string of anti-feminist thought going on in nerd culture.
I like anti-feminist thought. I am an anti-feminist. But that doesn't come into my gaming hobby. Until feminists try to insert their ideology into my gaming hobby. That is something I will not stand for. Feminism has ruined American and British political discourse, television and movies. It damn near killed Reddit. It successfully ruined Gawker. And I simply cannot allow you people the opportunity to ruin video games. If you want to play, that's fine. But this is an established culture and community. We are not going to let you change that, and we will fight tooth and nail to keep it the way it is. This is a battle you cannot win. And I cannot help but wonder, have you forgotten about Gamergate already? There was a huge deal made about that.
And I've tried to avoid it for a long time, but now I think it's just time I confront it head on.
I'm both glad and not that you chose to. For one, I'm enraged that you would even consider injecting feminism into one of the last remaining bastions of joy that I have in life. But on the other hand, I'm glad that you gave us all a heads up that you're throwing your hat in the ring next to Anita. Oh, by the way, imaginary fans, I do totally want to do all of her videos too.
So look, if you're a nerd, I'm not calling you an asshole or a misogynist or anything like that, okay?
Well, thank you for that. I also won't deliberately insult you outside of playful jokes. That's like half of my spoken lines on this channel. Don't take it personally. But I am an asshole, you can call me that.
I'm not here to attack you and tear you down.
Oh, honey, you couldn't if you wanted to. I'm more resilient than that.
But if you're already discrediting my opinion because I said I'm a feminist...
Well, I mean, yes and no. Your opinion is wrong because you don't understand gamer culture and because you're a feminist. But that second thing is only related in that I'm reasonably sure it led to the first thing.
Then we need to have this talk.
I'm glad we are. I actually discovered that I really like doing this.
Because I love nerd culture. I love that there are passionate people that can unite together around a shared love for certain things.
Then don't try to change our things. If you want to do our thing, that's fantastic, and I really do wish you the best. But keep your feminist talons the hell away from my video games.
I love smashing.
Hey, me too.
I mean, playing Super Smash Bros. For hours with my friends.
Oh, well, that too, I guess.
I used to play Halo and Call of Duty all the time. I still geek out over Harry Potter on a daily basis.
Ha! Nerd! Oh, wait, I just remembered what we're talking about.
And there have definitely been times where I just watched anime all night for hours and hours on end.
And the only issue with that is that you never call me over for some Netflix and chill.
And nerd culture is a huge, complex thing that can never be boiled down to one person or one train of thought.
I respect that you acknowledge the complexity of all things nerd. I hope you also realize that this is essentially an admission that we're not all horrible, racist misogynists.
But it does tend to be mostly straight, cisgender men.
Leave it to a feminist to, well, 1, notice that, and 2, state it out loud like it's some sort of problem.
Even if it's by accident, nerd culture does manage to exclude women and LGBTQ plus people in a bunch of different ways.
Nope. All are welcome. But you need to accept that there are assholes out there, and those of us that either don't mind women and queer people in our games, or actually want women and queer people in our games, can do absolutely nothing about it. Hell, I like that there are assholes out there. I have fun either trolling the hell out of them or kicking their shit up and down the map. It brings a special sense of satisfaction, knocking a dickweed down a peg or two. Maybe you can experience it someday.
And that sucks, because nerd culture is supposed to be the culture of the neglected.
Nerd culture isn't supposed to be anything. It is what the fiction and the fans make it to be. It is not by design.
It's supposed to be the culture of the people who were never popular in high school, or who didn't have a lot of friends, or who were bullied for one reason or another.
Were you bullied? Do you want to talk about it? Maybe get rid of those demons? I'm sure it'll really help you.
As a culture basically founded on being outcasts, I think it's absolutely necessary that we are as open and accepting as possible.
We are open. We are accepting. What we are not is changing for feminism of all things. I told you, Justin, you cannot win this fight.
Otherwise, nerd culture becomes just as mean and elitist as the people who bullied us in high school.
Seriously, you gotta let that go. I did. Look at how happy I am. Look at that smile on my face.
If you consider yourself a nerd, all I'm asking is that you hear me out and listen with an open mind.
I did. As I stated in the opening, this is actually like watch through number 5 for me. I just considered all the points individually and thought about how it would affect my hobby. And I didn't like what I saw. I will not buy games from developers who bend their knee to feminists, and I know many like me who won't either. I would hope that these developers know that, because if they give in without knowing how we, the dyed-in-the-wool gamers, feel about such a decision, they could very well go under, and I actually don't want that.
And try to imagine what it would be like if you were a woman or a part of the LGBTQ plus community.
I don't care about your feelings. Again, as I said in the beginning, asshole. that part of the character is actually me. Feelings are irrelevant and they serve no utility when it comes to war.
So here it is, 5 ways you can help nerd culture become more inclusive.
We're plenty inclusive as it is. You buy your platform, PC, Xbox, PlayStation. You buy games and maybe you go online. That's all it takes to get in. Beyond that, nothing you can say or do will change gamer culture.
Number 1, don't act like it's a miracle if a woman or a girl likes video games or other nerdy things.
It is unusual. Yes, I know the line, but half of gamers are girls too. Only technically true. Most of the women from that study, yes, grown women, were playing mobile games during the day, during their downtime. That's nothing like what we're talking about.
I know that my skit in the beginning of the video was a little exaggerated,
That's funny.
but just a little bit.
Not as funny the second time.
I've actually seen people act that surprised when they find out that a woman likes video games or Star Wars or anything like that.
It's also uncommon to bump into a girl using a mic, and it makes sense to be surprised about that. Over the course of the last 10 years, I can count on one hand the number of memorable encounters I had with girls and women on Xbox Live. They're uncommon, Justin, and I've got a lot of data coming together to form that statement. Nearly 8,000 hours of multiplayer on Call of Duty alone.
Even when it's intended as a compliment, it's really insulting to women.
I didn't think I'd have to use this clip twice in one day. Take it away, you sexy Puerto Rican motherfucker.
Because nerd women have been around for as long as nerd men have been around.
Well, I mean, practically speaking, yeah. But there were definitely nerd men first. I don't know about the exact timeline, but I'm pretty sure the first nerd men were teenage boys playing Dungeons and Dragons in their basement. Women joined the scene significantly later. But yeah, women have been involved for a damn long time. My point is that they joined in after the fun was already being had.
They've just been ignored and shoved to the sidelines because of some very systematic misogyny.
If there's systematic misogyny, I'm going to need you to point it out to me so that I can take a crack at that shit. I don't want anyone deliberately kept out of playing games or enjoying my favorite TV shows and movies.
The gaming industry and other parts of nerd culture have by and large been run by and for men.
You say that like it's some sort of problem. The entire world has been run by men, Justin. For like ever. All the way back to Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization. Civilization has been spearheaded by the determination of men. From the first ever structures to the latest breakthroughs in science, it has been men leading the charge into the future.
And when you act surprised that a woman likes something nerdy, you're insinuating, whether intentional or not, that it's unusual or weird for her to like that.
It is unusual. It's not weird by any stretch of the imagination, but it is definitely out of the ordinary, and it is perfectly reasonable to be a little bit surprised by it.
The only thing weird about this whole situation is that nerd men have been pretending that nerd women haven't existed for such a long time.
We haven't been pretending shit. Except for, dragons and magic and elves and dwarves and wars and shit, but that's different. It's kind of the whole idea.
Number 2, don't force people to prove that they like something.
Never have, never will.
So you meet a woman and she says that she likes Star Wars, and you manage to play it cool and you don't act surprised, but you don't really believe her.
You don't know me. Don't assume things about my life.
So you ask her questions like these. Who's Chewbacca's grandfather?
I don't know.
Which hand does Luke Skywalker have cut off?
I would assume it's his right hand, because 92% of everyone ever has been right-handed. It's pretty simple logic.
What color is Yoda's lightsaber?
I don't know. I'm gonna guess green because Lucas had a sense of humor, unlike a certain group of people who want to police humor and dictate what can and can't be joked about.
But all of these questions are really just part of a test to find out if she's really nerdy or not.
Well, is she? I want to know. Why must you present me with these questions and not give me an answer?
But men aren't subjected to tests like this. If you're a guy and you say that you like Star Wars, people just believe you.
Not always. If my older brother were to start talking some shit to me about Star Wars, I'd be hella surprised. even though he actually grew up when the original trilogy was still being produced. You see, Justin, like it or not, everyone makes assumptions about everyone else, even if we don't mean to do it. The human brain is funny like that.
And it should be the same for women.
Sure, why not?
If someone says that they like something, just let them like it. They don't have to be an expert with every single detail memorized.
I would never ask someone to do something that I, myself, could not or would not do. It's a simple philosophy, but it's gotten me far enough in life that I won't be abandoning it now.
Number 3, advocate for more diverse characters in video games, TVs, movies, and books.
Absolutely not. No. Diversity is a worthless concept. If you feel so insecure with who you are as a person that you need to see yourself represented everywhere in everything ever, I sincerely pity you and think that you need to come to terms with the fact that you are not a healthy adult. I identify with female and gay characters in TV shows, movies, books, and games just fucking fine. There's no logical reason that you and your ilk can't do the same. It's just that you don't want to.
Even though I love all different kinds of media, there's a problem with most of it. It's a lot of straight, white, cisgender men.
And I always hear the same thing from you people. It's that I'm literally Hitler because of my genitals' skin color and the fact that I like to put my genitals inside of my fiance's genitals. What the fuck is wrong with these character traits? You people are always going on about how gay is not a choice, how trans is not a choice. Well, guess what? Straight and cis is not a choice either. So tell me what the hell I ever did to you.
Video games largely feature playable male characters with over-sexualized female characters.
Hey, Rags, I'm a little winded after that little spat that I just had. You want to tag in?
Well, as a doggo who's sexually attracted to human men, let me let you in on a little secret. The men are sexualized too. Nathan Drake, I'd ride him like a carousel pony until closing time. And don't think for a second I don't want Geralt of Rivia to bend me over a barrel and show me the 50 states. Max Payne, Snake, Agent 47, fuck, Ellis from Left 4 Dead, he's a total cutie. I mean, hell, just Mass Effect alone, you have Shepard, there's Jacob Taylor, Caden's pretty good looking. Hell, we don't have to stop at humans. Rex? Oh, yes I would, in a goddamn heartbeat. Stop thinking only females are sexualized. They're not. You can be straight as a German streetlight, and you don't want to look at an ugly protagonist. You want to look at a handsome one.
Thank you, Rags. By the way, for everyone who actually does watch this, I cannot highly enough recommend that you go check out his response to Justin's video. It's the one that brought it to my attention.
Movies like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings have almost no women at all.
Yeah, so? By your own admission, women love that shit anyway. I fail to see the problem.
And most of the characters in all of our media tend to be white.
Have you ever heard of BET? Let me fill you in on a little secret. It stands for Black Entertainment Television. Guess what? If somebody wants to see people with their skin color, they can go find it.
You could argue that this is changing. Women have been playing more prominent roles in upcoming books and movies like The Hunger Games and Divergent.
Yeah, The Hunger Games sucks, and by every account I've seen of Divergent, that sucks too.
And FIFA 2016 will be the first edition of the game to feature playable female characters,
thereby shattering the realism of playing soccer on your Xbox. Good God, it'll be the end of the world.
But there's still a lot of work that needs to be done for people of color, women, and LGBTQ people.
Not really. The work has already been done. Women have equal rights, black people have equal rights, and gay people can get married. And all three get preferential treatment in professional settings, at the expense of people in my demographic. You know, the largest one? The biggest part of the workforce?
Representation is important.
No, it isn't. Refer to my earlier rant.
People need to see themselves represented in our media.
No, they really don't. What they need is to learn how to step out of themselves and enjoy experiencing the world through someone else's eyes for a change.
It inspires people and it sets the status quo for what's normal.
Nothing is really normal. Tell me one thing that you think is normal and I'll find something weird about it.
And I think we're on the right track, but we need to keep pushing for more diverse characters.
No, we don't.
Number 4, be wary of the language that you use.
I am the sole arbiter of what comes out of my mouth, and I will not stand to be told what is and is not acceptable for me to say. I already refrain from dropping N-bombs like they're hot. and I will not be dictated to by someone who's so weak and insecure with who they are that they can't identify with a male, straight, or white character in TV or movies.
Have you ever been on Xbox Live?
For easily 20,000 hours. Easily.
It's like the comment section of the gaming community.
So I'm not even going to try to do a bit for this one. I just want to include this little jab that Rags does, because it is so much better than anything that I wrote for this specific little line.
It's like the comment section of the gaming community, just horrible slurs and terrible things that you never want to hear all in one place.
Well, take a highly competitive environment, coupled with the fact that everyone's anonymous, sprinkle over the top of that a little bit of human nature, and voila, a masterpiece. That is without a doubt the nature of the beast of all those things combined into one. That is Xbox Live, that's online gaming, and it affects everybody, not just you, Snowflake. Get used to the idea you're not special because someone called you a dirty tranny. I get called all sorts of names, piece of shit, faggot, fanboy, cocksucker, every day. But seeing as that I'm an emotionally stable adult, it doesn't bother me because those people need to just get good.
I had to quit that thing back in high school.
Fucking pussy, it's no wonder I won't let you tell me what to do.
But certain words and slurs genuinely hurt people.
Sticks and stones, Justin. They may break my bones, but words only hold the power that is granted to them by people.
And make them not want to be a part of the community.
Then I don't want them. It's that simple. Playing games is about more than just the games. It's about the people that play them. If you can't stick it out in a friendly game of PvP, then you're definitely not ready for the real crunch of being down 30 kills when the enemy team only needs 10 more to win. We kicked their ass, by the way. I've never been more proud of 5 other people than I was when I saw that we beat their asses after being down by so much.
For example, if you use rape as a synonym for destroying something, you can cause PTSD flashbacks for rape survivors.
Sure, fine. I don't want to do that. But I'm also not going to refrain from using common slang because of someone that may or may not be present at all. If you're a rape survivor watching this, I'm sorry that someone violated you in such a way. But, and I'm sure you can agree with me on this, that is not something for me to deal with. It's something that you need to deal with. And if you want my help with that, go ahead and ask. I'm actually a very nice person. Remember, I'm just playing a character. Because it's fun.
If we want nerd culture to be one of acceptance, we have to be willing to change some of the words that we use to make people feel more welcome.
Or people need to accept us for who we already are so that they can grow as people. Boom. Logicked. No, not you. Get out of here.
I think a lot of people have this mentality that you can choose what words offend you, and that people who are hurt by words are just being too sensitive.
Usually, yeah. You're right there, Justin. I just need you to take that second to last step and consider that maybe people are being too sensitive.
But that's a really damaging way of looking at it.
Damaging to whom, may I ask? Trans people? I can name one off the top of my head who's on my side. Her fucking channel is open right now, right behind the script. Gay people? I can name several who are on my side. Bisexuals? The Amazing Atheist. Lesbians? I can't actually name any, but I'm reasonably sure they could give a fuck about words. Rape victims? Well, I just reach out and offered some private, confidential counseling if it's needed, just to help them come to terms with it. I like words, Justin. I really like the offensive ones, and I will not stand idly by while they are taken away from me on the largest platforms for free speech in the world.
Words have a lot of power.
Only because people like you grant them power. Get yourself some thick skin and learn to joke around like we do. I know you've got some balls down there, Justin. Use them before you lose them.
Because they have historical and cultural significance.
Yes, back in the formative days of many societies, words were powerful. There was a point in time where 99.9999% of people didn't even know what reading was, let alone how to do it. Nowadays, any jackass with a computer can make as many words as they want. As you get more and more of something, it loses its potency, Justin.
But also a lot of times people associate certain words with traumatic events in their lives.
And they need to learn how to deal with that, as I said a dozen times already.
Brushing off this whole argument by saying that people are too sensitive
They are.
really makes nerd culture a place where only people who haven't been traumatized by particular slurs are allowed to be.
So, you mean most people? Yeah, I'm alright with that. But if they try to change who we are or what we can do or say in our spaces, they will be shunned. Plain and simple. Gamers have established ourselves and we will be slow to change. Have fun trying.
Number 5, don't threaten people that criticize you or nerd culture.
What the fuck did you just say? No, I'm just kidding. I can't actually disagree with this. I think I might just let the rest of this play out and maybe not even chime in anymore. Threats are bad, okay?
Number 5, don't threaten people that criticize you or nerd culture. I feel like this last one should go without saying, but apparently it needs to be said. Don't send hate messages or rape or murder threats to people who criticize you. Even if you disagree with someone, that doesn't mean that they deserve that. We can disagree peacefully. Even if your threat is hollow, they don't know that. And even if they do know that, it can still take a toll on their mental health. I know this isn't going to convince everyone. I'm sure I'll find some very creative homophobic and transphobic slurs down in the comments. But I'm hoping that I can convince at least a few of you. Throwing threats and insults around doesn't do anything to help your cause. In fact, it only proves why women and LGBTQ+ people don't feel safe in nerd culture. Alright, well that is everything I have for you today. This video is a part of a series I'm doing for Everyday Feminism.
I just hope it's not too late to buy back your soul. Well, thanks everyone for joining me today. I certainly hope you enjoyed today's video. I sincerely hope you have a good one, and hope you'll join me for my next video. Well, also just a bit of a digression from the way that I've ended all of these so far, as I couldn't find a way to sneak it in with the rest of my responses. I just want to draw some special attention to what may very well be the single most beautiful thing anyone has ever said about video games, ever. Take it away, Rags.
Well, I don't want you to feel safe. Competitive online gaming, it's not the place you go if you want to have your feelings validated. You think these guys felt good when I took a shit on their chest? No, they did not. But they know that with enough practice, with enough determination, with enough training and enough dedication, they might be half as good as me one day. Improving yourself is a struggle. Learning is suffering. Sometimes it's painful for our potential to be chiseled out of the rough granite that is ourselves. Such is the nature of competition. Video games embody that spirit of competition, and people like you seek to destroy that.
Oh, God, it just gives me chills. It is so perfect. It just beautifully encapsulates everything that I love about the hobby.